All right, all right, all right.
Two cameras at one time.
Uh-oh, look who just came on.
Hi, Titi. I miss you.
Oh.
Don't say nothing or she'll leave. Don't say anything.
You miss her, huh?
Yes, don't say anything.
Yeah,
Please,
right.
just one time.
I'll be good. I'll be good. Hi, Miss Tanera. Hello. Hello. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm pulling up my notes because I don't want to miss anything.
Love you too.
Yeah, I don't want to miss anything. Word of life. Where's my word of life notes? Cancel. Brother Dale, thank you for the video, sir, from Canada. I can't wait to make sure that gets posted. We really appreciate you and your worship. I missed your call because we were on our first leadership call. We'll be connecting shortly. Okay. All right. While people are coming in, let's give it 60 more seconds, right?
Okay. How about we just give it until 10:41?
41?
Yes.
What time is it now?
40.
All right, it's 7:40. Kayla says we can go through 7:41. Okay. Do you see my MacBook charger? Yeah.
Right
All right, there it is.
in your bag.
All right, all right.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. How you doing?
Ford.
Apostle Bishop Super Ride or Die Ford. What's going on? All right, it's 7:40. According to Kayla's clock, we got 25 more seconds before we start. And definitely
41.
41. Okay, definitely want to honor your time and everything else. Listen, hey, Elder Regina Barron, we have been watching things closely with the respective numbers to coronavirus and playing some music on your side. You know, if I feel it a little bit later, I probably will. This is our cave room. This is what we do. All right. Let me first start by saying we understand and we recognize that our nation's in a pretty awkward place. And if you saw my Facebook Live earlier, it's still there. Kind of address some things concerning race relations and the police in Minnesota and all that kind of stuff, and how towards the end we have to be able to offer some type of hope. Right, so I want to get that out of the way. We understand that there's a sin issue in this nation, and we're going to keep preaching and ministering to it, hoping that this can bring people back to Christ, okay, back to God. All right, so if there was ever a time for the church to be positioned to move forward, it's now. I believe that everything that's happening and transpiring is really a confirmation as to what God has been dealing with us and our leadership team about at Word of Life. Now, this is specifically for Word of Life. I cannot speak for any other ministry in the city, the region, the valley, the county, or the state, or anything like that. I can only speak with what God said about Word of Life, okay? Let's look at how we got to this place. Back in April, we started to put a plan together for reopening. And I believe that you don't just make moves without plans, without strategy. And we started to pray about what a reopening would look like. And God started to give strategy to us. And wrote that plan down, and we're just waiting on things to start to move. Now, as I said before, we don't move off of the voice of the president. We don't move off the voice of our county supervisors, the governor, the mayor, we move off the voice of God. And so we've been sitting on this plan, waiting on God to say when it was time, okay? And so about a week and a half ago, our president came out and he says, look, churches need to be open on Pentecost Sunday. Churches are essential. Worship is essential. Get those churches open or I'll force the governor's hand. And we said, oh, well, praise God. Whether you agree with his politics or not, Paul said in Philippians 1 that he's not concerned about motive. He's saying as long as the name of Christ is being proclaimed, he's going to rejoice. And so we rejoice because from the White House all across the world, the words church is essential were going across. And then the Riverside County Sheriff and Riverside County Supervisors said they're going to start opening the economy, right? That we're not going to wait on the governor. We're going to open things up right now. And then our governor finally came forth and said, okay, I'm going to allow churches to reopen with limited capacities and restrictions and all that kind of stuff. I know that when the president said what he said, the Lord spoke to us and said, you're not going outside yet. You're going to stay under this cloud and you're going to move when I say move, right? And so we've been in the house, and we'll be in the house until June 7th is what God said, 14 days. And so we're going to be in the house until 14 days. And as I preached last week, I can't wait until God releases us so I can go to Red Robin and get my unlimited garlic Parmesan fries and all that kind of good stuff, right? But in pertaining to the church, we have to understand that malls are reopening, retail shops are reopening, barbershops, hair salons. Disneyland is coming back, Legoland at the end of June. And not that we move according to what the world does, but for those that are saying things like we're not moving until their stuff opens up, or, you know, and all that kind of stuff, that stuff is opening, okay? For us, we didn't base our decisions off of anything opening up. We didn't base our decisions off of Disneyland, off of barbershops, off of malls, or off of political pressure and all that kind of stuff. We looked, after praying, we looked for strategy, and we looked at our region, we looked at our county, we looked at our state, and we started to pay attention to things over the last 5 weeks. So I'm going to give you these numbers, and these numbers were as of 3 days ago. In Riverside County, right, 2.4 million people, 7,000, a little bit over 7,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus, 303 deaths, and 193 hospitalized, 63 ICUs, right? That population number is from 2017. In our city, this is our city. This is the city of Desert Hot Springs, a city where most of us live and we serve, and everything that yes, rebuke that phone. Yes, the city that we live and we serve, right? Now, mind you, our church is in the county, but our community is in the city. Sister Zanisha, hey, and welcome back. Elder Barbara and Brother Roman. In our city, it's close to 39,000 people in our city, according to the last census numbers. 39,000 people. I'm giving you these numbers because I want you to see the direction that we're headed. 39,000 people in our city, close to 39,000. Of those 39,000, there's been 81 confirmed cases of coronavirus and 1 death, okay? 39,000 people, 81 confirmed cases, and 1 death in the city of Desert Hot Springs. If you want up-to-date numbers as they get them, go to Riverside. It's the Riverside County. You can Google search Riverside County CDC website, and it'll show you all the up-to-date numbers. But again, when you see things like it's not statistically, science shows that it's not safe to do this and that, you have to consider the region, okay? So I have colleagues that are in LA County. LA County is currently under lockdown. We're not LA County, okay? We have other areas within the county that the numbers are going crazy. We're not there, all right? In our city, 39,000 people, 81 confirmed cases, and 1 death in the city of Desert Hot Springs, okay? All right, so with that being said, Word of Life has entered the first stage of our reopening phases, okay? This first stage gives us a period to do a dry run, a test with all of our protocols that we're going to put in place, and I'll share with you soon. And then the second stage would be to open the doors with a modification to services. And then the third stage would be to completely just go forth, okay? These are our protocols, right? And these are the things that we're going forward with, okay? Pre and post service, there'll be sanitization of all electronic equipment, audio, video equipment, musical equipment. That goes from microphones to instruments, cameras, things of that nature, all right? Doors and common areas will be sanitized, pre and post, all right? We are adding an additional entrance and exit. If you've ever been to Word of Life, you understand that we have 1 main entrance and 1 main exit. That's at the front door, which is facing Pearson, in order to help stop the spread and encourage safety protocols. A second door will be used for entering and exiting. Now, if you're coming to Word of Life to visit, if you're coming as a member and you're directed to park on the other side of the sanctuary, please don't get offended. Please don't be upset because they won't let you park in your regular place. It's not about that. It's all about being safe and doing the best we can to do our part. So on the that would be the west end of the church. There is a separate parking lot that's not used by many people. Well, it's going to get used by many people now, okay? So if you park on that side, you'll be escorted out that side, and you'll be allowed to come in on that side. This is all to keep the numbers of people standing shoulder to shoulder exiting outside the church. Yes, necessary change is good. And honestly, it's a little bit overdue, okay? So we're going to have those two exits, those two entrances, okay? This is not about your preferred parking space. If you don't want to park where they've asked you to park, then you could probably just sit in your car and watch the service online, okay? We're doing the best we can to keep things spread out and keep things distanced, all right? So there'll be a west entrance and there will be an east entrance. The east entrance is the main entrance that we know so far that we've always used. And then the west entrance is on the other side. There's a full parking lot, handicap accessible, handicap spots with another ramp that goes up that side. So there's access on both sides, okay? So we're gonna cut down on the cluster of people. Second, the social distancing aspect. At Word of Life, right? The governor's order, I believe it was 25% capacity or something like that. When our sanctuary is full, we estimated, I think 205 or 215 that sits in there. So we cut that number by 75%. And that means that no more than 45 to 50 people in the service. There's some wiggle room there because we do have a separate multi-purpose fellowship hall that's separated by 2 glass doors. So we can't open those doors. And that's a separate space because it has a separate wall that connects the two. But in order to ensure social distancing, we're going to have every other pew available. We have pews. We don't have chairs that we can move around and reconfigure. So every other pew will be available, all right? And I mean, if you're a family and, we have a couple of families of 5, 6, 7 people, they're going to sit together. We're not going to ask families to separate. But if you're not a family, if you're just coming to church, we're going to ask you to spread out, right? Every other pew will be available. And then everyone else will have distance of 5 to 6 feet between each person. Based on the structure and the formation of the pews in the sanctuary, that gives us enough space for 40 to 50 people, okay? Offering. One thing the pandemic helped us see was offering does not take 10 minutes. And 10 minutes was short because I came up in the church where offering was a whole nother service. For offering, it had to be a choir song, then it had to be a march around song. Somebody had to preach a sermonette, and it was like a fashion show going around the plate and all that kind of stuff. Offering will continue to be unique and different at Word of Life. It used to be about 5 to 10 minutes. Now it's going to take about 45 seconds to a minute altogether. What's going to happen is for offering at the end of the service, the deacons will be standing in the back of the church, one at each exit, and you get to go out and just drop your gift inside the offering basket wherever they are, okay? On the envelope, she'll have the chance to write whether you're giving to the homeless ministry, which we are still going to build that homeless shelter. COVID didn't stop anything, it just delayed something. The general church fund, the pastor's aid, all that kind of stuff, tithe offering, and then you'll drop it in either envelope that you're going to, okay? Also, we've added an electronic platform to take away, as much as possible, the transfer of envelopes. So you'll be able to give electronically as well, either our website, our Cash App, PayPal, all that kind of stuff, okay? Communion will be the same way. Whenever we partake, whenever we commune together, there'll be a white table, a table in the front with a white sheet over it. Y'all know how we do. And we'll have the self-serve. Yes, we had to sing. We are so, thank you, Sister Terry. Offering in the old church was another service, like I said. And I forgot, after the prayer, the offering song, the sermonette, and then the choir song, the march around song, then you had to sit down and wait for the ushers to march around to We Are Soldiers in the Army of the Lord. Yeah, Army of the Lord. So no, we're not doing that. Communion will be the same way. We're going to go back to the prepackaged communion tray, cups and juice. And you'll be able to walk up. They'll be spread out on the white table. You'll be able to walk up, just touch yours, and go back to your seat, okay? And we'll commune together. And then after that, the deacons will come around and you can place your receptacles or your trash into the receptacles, okay? Mask. We were asked about mask. We're asking that you wear a mask upon entering and upon exiting, okay? Because entering and exiting is when you'll be susceptible to be around the most people at one time. People were asking, do they need to wear a mask? A whole other service on the bear. People are asking, do you need to wear a mask during worship? we are going to leave that up to the individual, okay? We have several leaders that have said that because of what their doctors have told them, they prefer to wear a mask in service. I'm completely okay with that. We have others, like myself. On June 7th or 8th, when we go to Red Robin to get my garlic Parmesan fries, the bottomless, yes, I wish I would keep a mask on my face while I eat those fries, right? So we're going to leave that up to you, okay? We're just asking that when you leave out the sanctuary and when you come in the sanctuary, that you have a mask on, okay? Because that's when you'll have the opportunity to be touched shoulder to shoulder with people walking in the church, okay? All right, Sister Shelley, I see you laughing. Yes, I'm going to get my fries. I'm not playing with y'all. And don't judge me either. Y'all hungry right now. Okay, hand sanitizer. We're going to keep it available. We're encouraging you to bring your own hand sanitizer. But should you need to have hand sanitizer, you don't have any on you, one of the greeters, our welcoming committee, will be there with the bottle. You'll hold out your hands and they'll squirt it. All right, that's about it. Okay. We're not going to have everyone touching the hand sanitizer bottle. Again, we're trying to stop the spread. And one of the things the governor encouraged was us stopping sharing bottles, utensils, and all that kind of stuff, okay? Virtual campus. We will still keep our virtual campus going. And we call it a virtual campus because everything that we do in-house, we're doing virtually as well. So Sunday school will continue. Elder Tinker will continue to lead that charge. If you haven't watched Sunday school, it's he condenses it to about 15 minutes and you're able to catch it on YouTube, the YouTube page before service starts. You'll still have the option to come to inside the house once we say the doors are open. You'll be able to come inside the house at 9:15 and interact and do a full interactive Sunday school. But if you don't, and if you're just one of those people that don't get up that early to come to Sunday school, you can still catch it online, okay? Our teen Bible study every Tuesday on Zoom. If you have a teenager that wants to be a part of it, you can let us know, and Youth Minister Trey will get them the Zoom information. Our Kids Corner, we've reached out to some parents about their children constructing 5 to 10 minute Sunday school lessons, our children's church lessons. If you're interested, it's open to all, okay? We just need you to, and they don't have to do it at the church. They can do it at home. Just put it together and send it to us, and we'll be glad to post it on the YouTube page. And the cool thing about this is our children are doing these lessons from their own perspective, okay? Will they make mistakes? Of course they will. We've all made mistakes. And honestly, there's some of us that have been in church our whole lives and still can't rightly divide anyway. So we're not worried about our children making mistakes. We're worried about them. We're encouraging them to dig deeper into the word for themselves, all right? And then when it comes time to correct some things, we'll do it gently, right? We don't want to discourage them. We just want to encourage them to keep being creative and digging in that word. So if your children want to be a part and they want to be featured on the YouTube page during a Bible study lesson, please let us know. I mean, anything. Last week they did the fruit of the Spirit, David and Goliath, Daniel and the Lion's Den. Some of us from the old Church of God in Christ, we know the stories that we were brought up with. So whatever it is, we just want them. We want to see them. We want to see them doing it. Elder Barron, amen. Thank you. She says the Barron family is willing to do whatever. Yes, and we love you all too. We're all hands on deck right now, right? Our Bible study and our worship service will continue to be virtual, so you don't have to come into the house, right? But there's to continue to be virtual. But should you feel led to come to the house, excuse me, soon and very soon, those doors are going to be opening. Monday, we'll make an announcement concerning what the exact date will be, and we're all excited about that. God told me to announce it on Monday, so that's what we're going to do. All right, so when you see me go live on Monday, if you're concerned about when we're getting back in the church, you might want to tap in with me, okay? So this is what will happen after our reopening. When we see the need, and we see that the numbers are spreading beyond 50 people, not everyone will come back to church right away. Some people will sit back and wait a little while, and we understand that completely. When that does happen, that we'll be going to a second service, okay? And the way this format will work, there'll be a 9 a.m. Sunday school. We're not changing that. They'll go from 9 to 9:45. And then the first service will start at 10 a.m. and the second service will start at 11:15. Now that second service won't come into play until we enter the next phase, right? And we'll announce that as well. What's going to happen is going to make some people uncomfortable, but it's the right thing to do, okay? We're going to set up a tracking system, an Eventbrite system, something to where you register for the service that you're going to attend. We have to do that because we have to make sure that we have proper and adequate seating for everyone. And I know some people will say, hey, don't take all that, it's not that serious and all that. But I want to tell you something. Do you know that right before the pandemic, it was extremely hard to get a ticket to the movies without prepaying for your ticket and picking your seat, okay? That just happens. That's the way things are. And that's kind of the way things are going. So when it comes to the church, in order to ensure that we have adequate seating, we're not trying to offend anyone. And if you are offended, I pray you get delivered. But we're trying to ensure that we have adequate seating for everyone. So in the next week or so, I am now. All right. In the next week or so, there'll be instructions on how to register for which service you're going to attend. And we'll need you just to cooperate for a season so we can make sure that we get adequate seating going. The last thing we want to do is just completely disregard the mandates that have gone out, okay? They're not asking us not to worship. They're saying, can you help us out a little bit, okay? So let's do that. And then also we want to leave room for visitors. So once you register for your service, we'll know when there's a cutoff limit because we want to leave room for those who've never attended and want to visit, all right? So please, please, please be on the lookout for that, all right? We got to understand that numbers will rise because testing is being done at a higher capacity. But we're not looking at infection rate. We're looking really, and then we are looking at infections, but we're really looking at deaths and hospitalizations, okay? And we were able to make this decision with confidence. One, because we heard God say so, and then two, because we've looked at our numbers and we've seen the way things are going in our city, okay? What's happening in our city and our region may not be the same case for any other region, but we know we have a good pulse on what's going on in our region, okay? So with that being said, within the next, what's today? Is today Friday? Yes, today is Friday. So within the next 72 hours, Monday morning, we'll be making an announcement. You'll see it blasted all over our Facebook, our social media, saying what day will be our reopening. In the interim, we're going to take this next small period of time to prepare, right? To prepare. Prepare means to start to implement the strategy that God has given us, okay? So we ask that you be patient with us. I can promise you it's going to be soon and very soon, okay? But we just have to take a little time to get the sanctuary ready, all right? So that's all I have for you tonight. Are there any questions for me? Any comments, any concerns, anything? I'll wait for a couple minutes before I get up and go eat. All right, anything. I'm waiting. I'll just sing the Jeopardy music. Do, 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 boo. Okay, Sister Michelle asked, what are the numbers in this region? Okay, so Sister Michelle, you missed the start of it, but these numbers were from Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday, Riverside County, as of last year's census, has 2.471 million people in the county. As of Tuesday, 7,000, a little over 7,000 had cases of coronavirus. As of Tuesday, there were 300 deaths. And as of Tuesday, there was 193 hospitalizations. 63 of those people were in ICU. So that's the county. For the city of Desert Hot Springs, and I understated, I said that we had 32,000 people. We were corrected. We're close to 39,000 people in the city now. So close to 39,000 people in the city, 83 cases of coronavirus and 1 death, okay? So this is why we're able to confidently move forward right now because we're able to look at those numbers and we see that 39,000 people, 1 death, 83 cases. Desert Hot Springs has been fortunate. We've been fortunate because the numbers could be way higher, right? So for the next 21 days, we're watching those numbers consistently. But now we have confidence that we can move forward and do all that we can to stop this spread, okay? Play the second. I can't play it right now, Sister Terry. Oh, the barber, yes. Excited. So this is an adjustment period for everyone. We're asking you to stretch. We're all stretching, okay? We are, Brother Dale, we love you. We love you, sir. We love you too. We're looking out. We're asking everyone to stretch, be patient. use wisdom, keep praying, right? And keep loving on one another, okay? We're not in a hurry to jump back to normal, but we are starting to progress a little bit, okay? Anyone else? Yes, Sister Shelley, we still got to be in prayer. Still have to be in prayer. I believe that God can turn things around quickly, but I also believe that numbers can rise as well. So we're going to continue to pray and be vigilant. Just because the numbers are down doesn't mean that we need to stop doing the things that we've done to keep everyone safe, okay? So, yeah, please do that. Okay, anyone else? Anyone else? I'm going to log off on the YouTube page. Really